He goes on for like 9 minutes, pleading his case, trying to convince people that he's innocent, that they didn't even break out, that was let out the front door, that everything is corrupt in the jail system, so on and so forth. So, what are y'all thoughts on this?
I'll say this, and I'll bow out of this conversation. Given his tattoos and his haircut, he did that shit.
Okay, Molly, it's your chance to shine. Go ahead and tear her ass up, Molly. It's your moment.
What are you talking about? I believe him in this instance. I believe him. I think he's innocent.
The thing
I
is,
think that they were let out. I was saying I thought that they were let out through the front door because the pictures and the story just doesn't add up if you have common sense.
so to be from the South, Mississippi, Louisiana, these are the places that'll get you for something else, but like they don't really care how they get you. So I'm kind of like Miley. I believe what he was saying, but they probably got him for something else that he did. Like, I'm from Mississippi, they'll railroad you. In Louisiana, they'll railroad your ass. In Arkansas, they'll get you, but it's not bad as Mississippi and Louisiana. Do I think he innocent in that case? That
What's good? What's good, Souls of Thought family? As you see, we're back again with another reaction video from the After Hours panel with Anton Daniels. On this reaction video, we're going to be looking at systemic racism. Does it exist? Does it really affect society today? And we're going to hear a lot from Anton and Tukay. They're going to go and give their opinion about it. Other people are going to chime in, but I really want to hear your guys' opinion, how you feel about systemic racism. I have my thoughts about it. I will be giving my thoughts about it today. So just something to think about while we're watching that video. But if you made it this far, make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Comments are free. Likes are free. Holla at your boy, man. So let's get to it.
what he talking about with the paperwork? Absolutely. Do I think that he innocent overall? No. No, I don't. But by judicial law, if he in jail for something that he didn't do, that's with the paper.
What does that mean by innocent? What does that mean? Do I think that he innocent overall? What does that mean?
What do you mean, Anton?
You said you think he innocent with that particular paperwork.
Yeah. Because I done seen people get railroaded. I really have. Like, if you just got the beef from y'all, I'm not gonna argue with this. I'm gonna really just let y'all talk, because if you not from Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas, you wouldn't understand. You would think we playing the victim Olympics. You just have to be there and go through that shit to know that he could be 100% innocent and did something else, and they just hanging him up on that. This where I leave it. Yeah, Alabama bad too.
His face tattoos, I'm gonna leave it there.
What do you think should happen to him?
What I think should happen?
Yeah, in this particular instance, what do you think should happen to him?
I think law should happen. If he in jail on the wrong shit, I think they need to rectify the issues and go charge him. See, the police, they lazy down there, Anton. They can't get you on a murder from this time here, but we can get you on this. So instead of solving the murder case, they'll just hang you up on this.
Yeah,
they need to do that.
He's an idiot because he's fucked regardless. Say they were like, all right, fuck this. All the charges, we drop them. Now we're going to get your ass for escape. Now what?
The problem is that he would have never brought any visibility to it in the first place had he not been in this position.
Right.
So it's a catch-22, right? On one hand, you can say, well, he escaped, so, he fucked himself. He should have never escaped. On the other hand, you got to have a conversation and say, will we even be talking about this? Not saying that the escape is right. Will we even be talking about this if he hadn't have been in that position in the first place? If he hadn't escaped?
And see, I guarantee you, this nigga had a public defender, and there, all the lawyers, DEAs, they literally swap you out, Anton. Hey, give me Q, and I'll give you 2K.
Facts.
Let's.
I agree with that. I know. I agree with that.
It's the good old boy system. So like that's what we be talking about when we like it's systematically racism.
That's not racism.
That's definitely
But
racism, bro.
it's not systematic racism.
What is it?
It's a cultural problem that we put ourselves in a position to where we have to start defending ourselves when we've already created a reputation for ourselves. So, for example, the problem why it's so difficult to look at him or to even see this and say, well, I think he's innocent, is because he already got a rap sheet from shit that he actually admitted that he was doing before. He got the rap sheet, he got the tattoos, he fit the narrative, he doing shit, he getting into domestic violence and all of that. Okay, so now it's easier to evaluate him and judge him based off of his past history. So, yes, we need to evaluate.
So I'm gonna stop it right here. As you see, Anton made a point that I've been making my whole life. I used to tell people there's no such thing as systemic racism. I know that's not true. Listen to the whole thing. Listen to the whole thing, not just what I just said. I used to always tell people that systemic racism isn't true. I know it's true. I know it exists. With that being said, when you're living your life correctly, especially as a Black man, you don't have to worry about the things or the issues that fall into systemic racism. And I know somebody's going to give this one-off person who did 30 years because he was wrongfully accused, but we're not talking about these people rap sheet, and that's what Anton is talking about. Is that usually when they find someone, especially someone who looks like us, they still find someone who has a rap sheet, someone who they find someone with some negative in their background, so that the case has more leverage, even if they are wrongfully accused. And that's what people don't understand. With that being said, I went through my whole life and I never felt like I was racially profiled or anything of that nature. But I also didn't walk around with my pants sagging. I didn't walk around with nappy hair. I didn't walk around with bonnets on my head. I didn't wear hoodies in 95-degree weather. I'm not wearing Pooh Shiesty mask into stores, even though we know the pandemic's been over for years now. It's certain things that keep yourself off of the radar. And what really upsets me the most is a lot of people are going to be like, well, I shouldn't have to do all that. Yeah, but you do. Okay? You do. Just like we shouldn't have to go to work and work 9 to 5 to come home with the bare minimum. But you do. It's certain things in life that you just got to do and you just got to get it done. And that's one of the things that really, really bother me when I talk to people about this. I'm going to read to you guys what's systemic racism. You're going to hear Tukay keep saying systematic racism, but to each his own. It says systemic racism refers to the policies, practices, and structures within institutions such as education, law enforcement, healthcare, housing, and employment that result in and maintain racial inequity. Racial inequity, even when individuals within those institutions may not hold racist beliefs themselves. Uh, so, but that I like that last line, because just because you see a white police officer doesn't mean he's against Black people and vice versa. So just one of the things to think about. But I also feel that I'm from one of those states that 2K was talking about. I'm originally from Louisiana. When I was in school, Louisiana was the second dumbest state after Mississippi. But that didn't hold me back from having a 20-year military career, retiring, going into my next career, doing things that people, because I didn't fall for what people were telling me. If I was that person who felt like, woe is me, oh, I grew up in the ghetto, I grew up in the hood, my mom was a crackhead. This is not my story, but just what people say. We all have opportunities to leave our situation, period. I tell people all the time, the example I give is if you're in New York right now, sitting on the stoop, selling dope, selling crack, whatever it may be, hustling, you're getting shot at all the time, drive-bys happening, you're getting robbed. You can get up today and move yourself to Florida, move yourself to Texas. You can move anywhere you want. Do you have to start over? Yes. But you're not doing nothing in the hood right now as we speak. So why not start over in a better environment, get yourself together, find yourself a job, and start a new life. You don't have to get caught up in the system of the systemic racism or the systematic racism, as you're going to keep hearing 2K say. Uh, and I'm not here to say that things don't happen to us that are wrong. They do. With that being said, we still all control our situations. If I get pulled over, I can get pulled over today. Can I be upset? Yes. Can I get even more upset because it's a white cop? Sure. But at the end of the day, he's going to ask me for the same material he asks everybody else for: license, registration, and proof of insurance. I have all three. Here you go, sir. As long as you have what you need, why are you concerned about the other things? Why are you upset because you feel like you're racially profiled? Give the person what they need and keep it moving.
Evaluate each case by case, but you can't say it's systematically against you when it's your mama's fault for getting with a daddy that died early and then left her to fend for herself. And then ultimately you went out and you committed a bunch of crimes, but now you're saying that the system is against you. No, I think that there's things that is wrong with the system and it's corrupt people in the system. But at the same time, what about all of the other shit that you're saying that you got away with or that you probably didn't even get caught for, right?
But that's the story of any man.
What do you
What if we got caught for the shit that we were doing that we supposed to? The what makes it systematic is, Anton, first of all, you got the system hunting the black dude. Okay.
What?
So now you got another system where you know they ain't got no money. That's the financial
What do
system.
you mean they hunting the black dude? How do they hunt me?
Because you the usual suspect.
No, you usually are doing a crime.
And you usually not. It's you only usually doing it because systematically tells you that it's always a black guy.
No,
That's a
black
system.
people commit crimes.
From the police to the jail to the courthouse, that's all a system. It's systematic, bro. From the public defender, they gonna give you.
I think that there's something wrong. There's some things that need to change, but you can't say that they're hunting you when you're the one committing the crime.
I don't know. I'm kind of with 2K on this. I went to school in Louisiana. Half my family lives in Louisiana, is from Louisiana. I've spent a lot of time going through there, Alabama, Georgia, all that.
Mm.
I think you can and will get railroaded. They make stops all the time for stuff that you're not wrong about. He's
Story
right.
of my life.
Ways you are being hunted, and I'm not saying that you're not doing wrong. I, for one, don't believe what this guy is saying, but 2K's he's not wrong in this. Like,
what part is he not wrong about?
You ain't never got pulled over for literally just being black. They gonna say, hey, you didn't click the signal light. They lying. So they got to stop. Can we search your car? It smell like weed in here. Let me get in here. Okay. They take
so when you get pulled over, do you have something wrong or are they framing you?
No, there's nothing wrong, Anton.
They don't necessarily have anything wrong. Like my sister got pulled over. She's a DA, not in Texas, but she's a DA. One car pulls her over. She's explaining her rights by the law and how she's done nothing wrong. They call somebody else in. So now they're surrounding her and her husband, saying that, they're doing all this stuff wrong. Obviously, she knows the law. She knows that nothing was wrong. She ends up having to hire people involved and get these people fired for some stuff they shouldn't have been doing in the first place. What would have happened if he not been a DA?
What I'm asking is,
but what she's not saying in that story, she could sue him because your sister being a DA had nothing to do with the story. Your sister was a DA, but also a DA that had all her stuff squared away. Because there was a DA and you were smuggling drugs, or you were a DA and you had a gun in your car, it would have still been the same result as some hood person getting pulled over and didn't have the things they need. Just because you throw someone's title out there doesn't change the result. The outcome doesn't change because of a title. Trust me. I know cops who've been arrested by cops. So
when people get pulled over, if you're not doing nothing wrong, are y'all arguing that, let's say, for example, they search your car illegally and you got some shit in there that you're not supposed to have, and you shouldn't go to jail because they did it improperly or they did it illegally, right? Or are y'all saying that they just pull you over and mess with you and they shouldn't be pulling you over in the first place? And so that's what makes the system corrupt. Because on one hand, again, I think that two things can be true. Yes, they probably pulling you over. Yes, they probably skirting the law, whatever shit. But then at the same time, do you got some shit that you riding with that you're not supposed to have?
Okay, so Anton, it's like this. We see a black dude, so we know it's something wrong. Okay? We know it's something wrong, so we're gonna pull him over for some bullshit. Hey, your headlight out. Your headlight not out.
Mm-hmm.
But because you black and we know that you come from a systematic poverty system, we're gonna ask you for license and insurance. I can give you the license. I ain't got the insurance.
So that means that you're wrong.
Yeah, everybody, if you pull over a white person or a Mexican person, you will have the same issues, but we are targeted.
No, everybody is targeted. Everybody is targeted in a hot listen. I'm gonna be real. Because again, I'm from Detroit, and it was the predominantly most black city in the United States of America, and it was crime ridden. Most of the biggest drug lords come straight from here. I'm not speaking from a perspective of a person that was raised in the suburbs of all of this shit. I come from Mayor Coleman Young's Detroit, Michigan, YBI, all of that shit. I'm not talking from a person that comes from an environment that ain't never seen nothing. All right. And I come from the Jump Out Boys, from Gang Squad. Gang Squad was notorious. They went down and they ultimately arrested and locked up all of those cops because they was known for robbing drug dealers. I'm not speaking from a perspective that I don't know of, right? So what I'm asking is, are they targeted because they're in high crime areas and they usually got some shit on them, or they usually riding dirty, or are they targeted only because they black? Because to ignore one without the other would be intentionally, like, we know that that's not true.
Anton, the high crime areas is usually where all the poverty is. Okay. If you want to pull over people for no reason and be right 100% of the time, post up outside the poorest area. That's the targeting right there, bro. If I post up outside the hood, I know it's a big chance that these niggas ain't got their shit together because they can barely afford to stay here. We gonna get all these niggas no insurance. Then we gonna search the car.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can't afford therapy.
So is it right that you don't have insurance? Is what I'm asking.
Why? Because we barely got a house.
And catch the bus.
I'm just saying, you're not gonna keep making excuses and making it seem like, listen, if you're getting planted drugs on you or some shit that's really, like, if you're unjustly, then that's one thing. If you riding dirty, nigga, stop acting like you a victim, is what I'm saying. Because most of these niggas is doing shit that they ain't supposed to be doing, bro. And it ain't, and you doing it real easy by saying, oh, it's just the insurance. No, niggas be riding with switches, pistols. They be in some shit. They be fucking up the community. And then they want to sit there and say, oh, no. But if you remove the police completely, then they would say, hey, what's going on? Why would you have more police presence?
Anton, this gonna sound real ignorant, but to understand what I'm saying, you would have to be there. If Anton, Kimmy, Slimmy, and Molly, Q, and Carrie got a pistol, I'll be a damn fool for not having one. It's called
now you justify.
No, listen. It's called social darwinism.
Nope, you literally just
Anton, listen, it's called social darwinism, bro.
Okay.
It's called it's the survival of the fittest. See, y'all live in this world where you don't need these things.
No. Stay on point. What? The police is pulling niggas over because somebody kid got killed and they need to get these switches off the motherfucking street.
Absolutely.
Now wait. First you say they targeted. Now you saying, but wait a minute, we gotta ride around with pistols because that's just the environment that we live in. So which one is it? Are you being targeted or are you riding dirty?
Anton.
And before we go on, we gotta stop letting people learn new terms, and that social Darwinism is in the 19th and early 20th century ideology that applied to Charles Darwin theory of natural selection to human societies. It suggests that in society, just like in nature, the fittest individuals or groups survive and thrive while the weaker ones fail. It's important to note that Darwin himself did not promote this idea for human societies. Others misuse his biological theories to justify inequity. No, inequality. I'm sorry, inequality. So again, people throwing out definitions that have nothing to do with survival of the fittest. People will change terms. People go through all these things and not give you the true facts. Always look up words, guys. Always look up language. That's one thing I like about Classic Code. Shout out to Classic Code. He's always doing code language and he's talking about words and what they mean, because you'll go around spurting these terms and they have nothing to do. People created that and then try to make it fit it. It's like reading the Bible and trying to make the scripture fit what you're doing wrong in life. Same thing. We're going to let them cook for another minute or so, then we're going to wrap this thing on up.
If it was 6 shootings over here, I got my gun on me. The police know about the 6 shooting. Let's pull him over because we know he got a gun because they be killing over here.
Okay.
My nigga, it's all systematic, bro.
Right.
If the police was in the neighborhoods and there wasn't no crime going on, nobody have to have guns.
Right.
And I'm not
What are you
playing
talking about? You have so many wealthy people with guns.
I'm not. Listen, you won't understand, Molly. It ain't
I
even
would
a bus.
understand. I would
It ain't
understand
even a
way
bus.
better than you would think.
It's not even a bus system down south that I know of.
And that is false. I'm from Louisiana. We have sports train, we have city buses, we have all types of public transit in Louisiana. Then you got the Greyhound if you need to go out of town. So that's, come on now. Come on, Tukay.
Right.
That whole go to a bus stop shit, that shit, that's that up.
So y'all just walk or y'all drive. That's y'all only transportation. Y'all don't have any mass transportation service. Y'all are that little of a town.
Transportation in the South, but on top of that, it happens all over too. So, like, you're traveling in the South, you're being pulled over because you are black. There are sundown towns here where you are being pulled over because you are black.
That's not the argument that he's making, though, Kim. That's
I understand the argument that he's making, but I'm saying even though he left out this part of the argument, it still exists.
No, y'all throwing stuff in there so that y'all can justify.
I don't agree. That's not right. There's no sundown towns anymore.
I'm not even gonna try to make y'all
at night.
If y'all never had y'all boots on the ground there, bro, you won't understand it, bro.
I like that song.
When people do that, bro.
No.
What are you talking about?
Because that's an easy escape hatch. When people don't want to justify or solidify their argument, then they always say that shit. Well, if you ain't from here, you just wouldn't know. Come on, man, you can't do that shit, bro.
Listen, it's just true. I'm up here trying to tell y'all. Molly say just catch a bus. If your ops were looking for you, when niggas were trying to kill you, why the fuck would you go sit on a bus stop?
Why they trying to kill you, okay?
Because that's what poor people do.
No.
They gonna know where you are.
No. Hold on. Why they trying to kill him, 2K?
I don't, Anton, you never know.
You know why. Come on.
I don't know why.
They're not trying to kill the average Joe that's going to school that's minding their business. They trying to kill you because you on a block, because you slanging, because you didn't took out one of his homeboys, because you didn't fuck this baby mama.
Okay.
Come on, bro. We can't keep playing.
And as you see there, 2K got a heart for the black community, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. He has a lot of empathy for the black community. But on this channel, we don't make excuses for things that you should be doing right. Do what's right, and everything else will work out in your favor. If you don't believe me, call God. But I would love to hear your guys' comments. I love to see Anton and 2K battle it out. But the big question of the day is, does systemic racism exist? Have you been a part of it? And how do we change it? Let me know in the comments. Again, if you made it this far, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment or two. Let's open up this conversation. As I leave every video, God loves you, which is most importantly. I love you, you're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let that go.